Hello and welcome back to Tesla News. My name is Marian and I'm your host today. I'm glad to have you back here on my channel with new footages from Giga Berlin. Lots of new cars out there. We look into the Tesla stock and we're also going to talk about the cleanup of the EV business. This is not going to affect Tesla here at all because they are in a leading position. But I think in 2023, lots of EV startups might get into trouble because they will face the price pressure. And this is what's going to happen in China, happening already over there. And of course, in Europe, this will happen there as well this year. And Tesla is in a very good spot here and a good advantage when it comes to cost efficiency, being able to drive the sales price down to create new demand. And the stock is currently at 107 euros. In the morning, they were trading plus 4% in Germany. So we are back on track. But nevertheless, we all know the stock didn't only go down because maybe Elon Musk bought Twitter, or maybe some thought that the results are not so astonishing. It is because a lot of short sellers are in the market. We see 80 million Tesla shares being shorted. So it is a new record again that we are starting here with in 2023. We were at that point in July 2022, but then it was declining. And then as Elon Musk was starting to buy Twitter, lots of people jumped in, were shorting Tesla. So this is the normal pattern. We have seen that a few years ago. I think we're going to go back up with the stock very soon. That is my personal opinion. Again, no financial advice. Now let's start with the cost per vehicle sold. What is interesting is we see a decline. The average price or the average cost Tesla is having here was at 35K. Now it increased a bit in Q1 to Q3. And we all know, if you are really into the numbers here, we all know this is because of the COVID lockdowns we had last year. And of course, Austin and Berlin. They were not efficient yet. They were not making money yet. But this year, those two factories will be way more efficient. And this is going to drive down the cost again, because of course, they're going to put a nice output out there. And so the cost that they are having, Tesla, for those two factories is going to not affect too much anymore the average cost per vehicle. Now, these are all positive signs. Now, and that is where the point of scaling is coming. And what is very interesting is when we take more stats here, that actually Tesla, once they were actually declining the prices here from 55K on average to 49, that is a difference of 6K. They were actually increasing at the same time the auto gross margins from 18% towards 26%. So we clearly see here that Tesla was able to make more money. And of course, they were able to do that as well with higher prices. But what I'm saying here is that Tesla will be able maybe to hold this line up there despite decreasing prices. And what many people don't understand is this is only one market. The US market is still selling at a normal price. Of course, we had some price decreases by the end of the year. And the European market is not seeing any price decreases at all right now. So we are still having a lot of premium markets outside of China. Now, when it comes to other car makers, they're going to get into struggle here. We have Lucid out there. We have Faraday Future out there. We have a lot of Chinese car makers that are going to struggle a lot. Xpeng right now is affected by a lot of price changes from Tesla. So a lot of people might think, well, I want to buy a Tesla, but they have moved to a Chinese brand and now they're going to move back to Tesla because they will say, well, I can get it at a way better price. And that is where the price pressure is. That is where we can expect a lot of things happening in 2023. And what we're also going to expect is what we have been all saying already for years, is that the ICE brands, which are still selling ICE vehicles, they're going to face as well a margin problem because they have declining sales. Honda, Nissan, Volvo, Mitsubishi, VW, Stellantis, Mazda, etc., etc. They have a decline here between 2021 and 2022. And now, as you're not having the scaling effect anymore, you have the same facility. You have to actually lay off people, but still you have the facility. So you have to reduce everything, the capacity, but the scaling effect is gone. And the only one that was actually achieving 3% gain was GM, the one that we are always laughing about, but they actually achieved 3% gain here. But Tesla is leading here by a lot. Of course, they're still growing. They're not at the spot where we, for example, GM or Ford are. But again, I do believe lots of companies going to get into struggle because of the pricing pressure this year. This is all good for customers on the other hand. And when it comes to the pickup truck business, I mean, there are really people out there that believe there's no demand for the Cybertruck. Just look into the second and third spot, how many cars are being, or pickup trucks are being sold. Only those two spots already are close to 1 million pickup trucks a year. I mean, that is a major market. So Cybertruck will be very important. I think the real effect of mass production, we will see that by 2024. Now for the Chinese market, we have lots of cars here. Wuwa has been doing some great jobs here in the harbor in Shanghai. So what we see here is a lot of cars for Europeans. We have a lot of cars for the UK market. So they will be transported to the European market. We have already 2 carriers on their way to Europe. One is going to Le Havre and the other one is still on the way to the Suez Canal. So Tesla is doing what they have to do. And in Europe, we can expect lots of cars actually being in inventory, so people can pick up the car right away if they order them. In the first quarter, I still expect lots of people that are currently waiting for a Tesla, that they will receive it finally. And in Germany, we have lots of people as well receiving VIN numbers for cars that are actually produced in Giga Berlin. So this is also a nice effect now. So many people are receiving VIN numbers now. They're receiving the possibility to pick up their car. And this is in January. And we have talked about that before. Last year, Tesla was actually having only 800 to 900 cars being registered in entire Europe in January. That's not going to be the case this year. Definitely not. They're going to start in record pace out there in 2023. Now, this is the entire story here, guys. We have pricing power, and Tesla is able to react to it. And they will react to it in China as they did. And they will react, if they really have to, in Europe as well. And this is going to really struggle. A lot of companies will struggle here. And when it comes to German car makers, we cannot say how much money they actually make with EVs, as they put everything in their numbers together. So that's really hard. But we can be pretty sure they are not making that much money like Tesla. So it's going to be a very interesting 2023. So thank you very much for your support, and I wish you a wonderful day.